Okay, guys, so we're going to be reacting to ranking every business in GTA Online by TGG.
New or returning player, you are probably completely overwhelmed looking on the internet in GTA Online and just seeing all these different things you can buy. Well, today I'm going to try and make that a little bit easier for you. I'm going to rank every...
Bro, I don't have the money to buy any of this stuff. I barely even have over, like, 1,000. People say a million is easy. It could just be because I don't play GTA as much as Fortnite, and that could probably be my reason. But people say it's so easy to make $1 million in this game now. I've probably only had $1 million once in my 7 or 8 years of playing this game. So yeah, I don't know if it's really that easy or if it's just the amount of time I spend playing it. It's not that high.
Capabilities. So this is going to give you a good idea of where to start and give you a pretty good idea of what can pay you the most money. I need to start this video off by saying this is not a guide on how to use each of these businesses. This is a video of me giving my rankings on which ones are best. If you want to know how to use these businesses, I'll leave links to all of the videos I've made on every business.
Dude, bro's made so many videos on this. Guys, I don't even know what to say. This looks so different now. Like, they just changed YouTube in, like, an hour or something. Because I was just making reactions, like, earlier today, and it didn't look like this. Like, the reaction I posted before this was recorded. I'm recording this on the same day as that.
Description below, so go check those out if you want to learn how to use them. So if you enjoy this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Sub for more stuff like this. Let's jump in. Alright, starting off at the very bottom. A lot of people probably forgot this property existed in the game at all because not many people use it consistently. It's the Arena Workshop. In terms of making money, this one ranks dead last. The workshop does have some pretty cool features. Those features are a 30-car garage and an on-site mechanic that can upgrade your Arena War vehicles. But in terms of making money, the only real way to do it is with Arena War, and you don't even need the workshop to start those up. So this one, dead last. Second from the bottom is the Document Forgery Office. This one is the worst MC business by far, and it's not particularly close. Even with all of the upgrades to this business, taking buying supplies into account, you're only going to make a maximum of $20,000 an hour from this business. To be fair, yes, it is a passive business, so you don't really have to work too much for that money, but still, there is not another business in the game that is worse than this one. Next up is the Penthouse. Again, this is one of the least useful properties in the game. And
mine is not even upgraded, though. Like, it's like the default state. You just, like, buy it, have it. You don't unlock all these other doors, like the bar and all that. I just have the default one. I didn't have enough money to properly update it.
Story missions, which really don't pay you that much. The first time through.
So, the businesses I do have, I have the Penthouse, I have the Agency, I have a Circular Serve, I have a nightclub, I have an arcade, I have a bunker. I have a few, but...
Though, upon completion, you're going to get first-time bonuses, plus if you host all of the missions and complete them in order, you will get the NS Paragon R Armored Sports Car. So in total, that roughly pays off what you paid for the Penthouse in the first place, but beyond that, there's really no other ways to make money. So this one is near the bottom of the list. Next is the High-End Apartment. Now these ones actually did get a pretty big buff in 2022. If you don't know, the High-End Apartment let you start up 5 different heists. The Fleecer Job, Prison Break, the Humane Labs Raid, Series A funding.
Yeah, one of those. It's really nice.
Payout increases a few years ago in the middle of 2022.
They need to do more of that in GTA 6 though, because like a lot of the I was thinking about this earlier when I was playing GTA. In GTA 6, I understand the point. They can't replicate it as much, like exactly as the real thing, because unless they just go barge into all these people's houses or knock on the door one by one, say, can I record the inside of your house for a video game? They're not going to let you. They won't care. But, so, and also the fact it would be online, it would be better for people to be able to customize their houses, but like the apartments are like all the same basically, besides the high end ones. That's the only time you really get to change it up and make it more custom. But the standard apartments are all the same. And yeah.
Even then, there's still some of the worst paying activities in the game. On top of that,
So
these
hopefully
houses
they
take a
somehow
really
figure
long
out how to
time
make it more
complete, and you need
customizable.
4
So
players to do them.
you don't have the same apartment. Like it's way more customized
And if you've played
not
much GTA
at
Online,
close
you know relying
to someone
on 3 other
else's.
players is never going to be a great option. So this one is quite comfortably in the bottom half of properties. The next 3 slots are taken up by 3 other MC businesses: Weed, Cash, and the Meth Lab. Taking into consideration that you bought all of the upgrades for these businesses, as well as taking into account that now in 2025, you can get a 35% bonus for both the Cash Factory and the Weed Farm if you buy the car wash, as well as the Smoke on the Water weed shop. All 3 of these MC businesses make you roughly the same amount of money now. If you're buying supplies, which you probably should be for an MC business, all of these properties will get you about $40,000 to $50,000 an hour profit. So this is starting to get to decent money. Like, this isn't bad. These businesses definitely aren't horrible, but still, they're just not some of the best ways to make money in the game. So they're still pretty low on the list. Next, I've got the Vehicle Warehouse. Now, this business actually just got a buff in 2022, where before you wouldn't get
Just
any
got a
additional
buff?
money. Now
2022 was 3 years ago. What do you mean just? My guy,
you can sell these
get with the
vehicles.
program. It's 2025. How is 3 years ago just? It didn't just have an
public
update if it
lobbies,
was
and
3
now
years
you're
ago.
gonna get a high
What?
demand bonus, which is a 2%
My guy.
increase for every other player that's in your lobby.
What you
Most
talking
players
about,
should
my
be able to
guy?
sell at least 2 high-end vehicles an hour with the Vehicle Warehouse. That alone is going to net you $160,000 profit per hour, but if we add in the fact that now you can get a high demand bonus with these vehicles when you sell them, you're looking at upwards of $200,000 an hour. Not bad. In the next spot, we're going to put the Bail Enforcement Officers.
I don't
This
own
came to the
this.
game in the middle of 2024, and it left a lot of people divided. Some people really liked it, and
Dark
a lot
Viper
of other
AU
people
uses this a lot in his in the getting award series he's doing. He uses
didn't
this.
like it so much. In terms of
Good.
profit per hour, it's a tough
Yeah. Dark Viper AU was talking about that there's not a lot of different people. It's like you always get the same person. There's not enough people that it cycles you through to change it up and make it different everyone. So like it also gets boring
business
in
to
that
rank,
sense.
and that's because so much of the content is generated artificially. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's 3 ways to make money with this business. The first is through the safe. To do that, you need to send out your enforcement agents every 48 minutes, and they'll come back and bring you between $5,000 to $10,000 every in-game day. Then you can go out and secure some targets. There's 2 different types of targets though: standard targets and most wanted targets. The most wanted targets are pretty good. They're pretty cool. They'll pay you about $130,000. They'll only take about 10 minutes, but the issue is you can only do them once per day. The standard targets, on the other hand, will take you between 3 to 5 minutes-ish, and these ones will pay out about $40,000. The issue with them? Well, you can only do each of these once per hour, so a maximum of 3 per hour. So with your enforcement agents, as well as the 3
But at
standard
least you
targets-
can do them more in a day, unlike the wanted one. You have to do once
you can
a
expect
day.
to make about
So, I mean,
$140,000 per
gonna
hour.
wait an
Then you
hour.
throw in 1 most wanted target a
do
day,
3 an
making
hour.
additional $130,000.
Yeah,
It's not completely horrible, and it can be pretty fun to do, but realistically, it just falls behind a lot of the better businesses. On my list next is the final MC business we haven't spoke about. It's the Coke Locker. With all the upgrades, if you're buying supplies, the Coke Lockup will make you just over $63,000 an hour. With the buffs in 2022, the Coke Lockup has definitely fallen from grace. A few years ago, everyone would have agreed that this was one of the best businesses in the game, but since then, Rockstar has just added a lot more better ways to make money, so the Coke Lockup is now, unfortunately, just about average, which is a bit of a shame. The next business on the list is another one that's been a little bit overshadowed by all the new properties coming into the game. It's the Crate Warehouse. Now this is still a pretty good way to make money. Most players should be able to get at least $200,000 an hour with this one, maybe even over
Wow.
$250,000 to $300,000 an hour if you're pretty good at it. The crate warehouse is pretty simple. Just like the hangar business, your job is to source crates, go out and steal them, bring them back, and then sell them for more money in the future. But in the middle of 2022, Rockstar also added a technician in each of your warehouses that can go and do this job for you once every 48 minutes if you pay them $7,500. So not only can you actively make money for this business while going out and sourcing crates on your own, but you can also make money passively now by paying your technicians to go and get you more crates. A great way to make money with the crate warehouse is to fill up all of your crate warehouses and wait for a double or triple money event week. That's a really effective way to make millions and millions of dollars. But outside of that though, if you're not making use of these events when they come around, unfortunately the crate warehouse is still just a pretty good business and not so much a great one. Next we have the facility, kind of a tough property to rank. In 2022 these got a massive payout increase as well, which means now completing Act 3, which is the final Doomsday heist, you can get $2.25 million.
Oh,
The
damn.
problem is, for most players, this will take at least 2 hours, maybe even 3
Yeah.
if you're not using glitches. And this heist is not
Yeah,
a
I'm not
solo
doing that.
heist, so you will need to share the final cut with another player. Once you take all of that into consideration, yeah, both players are probably going to be making close to $1 million for about 2 to 3 hours work. Kind of hard to rank the profits on this one because it depends how well you know the heists and how good you are at them. But I would say most players can make anywhere between $300,000 to $500,000 per hour
That's
with
not
this
worth
heist.
it.
I know that's a wide range, but it's just going to vary from
Even
player to player.
500
Here I'm
wait,
going to
what?
put the
No.
Darnell Brothers Garment Factory. This was added into the game at the end of 2024, and it has us buying Lester's factory from single player. So yes, this is technically a business that was already used in single player, now just available in online. There's 2 ways to make money with this property.
It'd
The
be
first
cool
is
if I
through the
had this. I want to get all the ones related to this story mode. I want to own them. So far on PC, I have the car wash. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a very good business for $1 million, but I got it. I want to get the garment factory or garment,
safe, which
and
you
I want to get
$2,000
Mackenzie
every
Airfield.
48 minutes. Not fantastic, but the main
Be
way
cool
to
to
make
get
money
those.
is through the FIB files, basically mini robberies or heists. Each of these will have 3 setup missions as well as a finale, and for experienced players with fast vehicles like an Oppressor Mark II, you can normally complete these in about 20 to 30 minutes. They pay out $150,000 with optional challenges as well, which can grant you an extra $50,000, so up to $200,000 per file. And on top of that, each week one of these files will be marked as a priority file, which means it's going to pay double money. So if you jump in, complete that priority file each week, there's about $350,000, and then from there on out, you can do the other files and make about $150,000 each. Do 2 of those per hour, you're making roughly $300,000 an hour. Decent, sort of a
Wow.
mid-tier business, which is why it is where it is in the video. Next up is the bunker. I wasn't really too sure where to put this one, but I've got it just above the coke lockup. The bunker can do a lot of different things, including unlock you a lot of things if you do the research. But for this video, we're talking about money, and just like all of the other passive businesses,
not
we've
gonna
got,
show us
but
this
taking
tier
into
list?
consideration if you have all of the upgrades and you're buying supplies, you can expect to make just under $60,000 an
We're
hour
not
with the
seeing the
bunker.
actual tier list
So
about
why do I
this?
have
Like,
this
what?
one above the coke lockup? Well, now in 2022 and beyond, you can also complete an ammunition supply run. You can do one of these every 48 minutes. It's only going to take you, I'd say, 3 to 5 minutes to complete, and you're going to get $50,000 for doing that one. So that's an
Wow.
extra $50,000 an hour you can make if you want to. And for that reason, it's just slightly above the lockup. The car wash, as well as the Higgins heli tours and
that's
smoke on
what
the
I'm
water
just saying.
businesses are very difficult to rank, but they all work the same way. So
That's
we
what
don't
I'm
have them in-
saying. I have the car wash, but then it wanted me to get these 2 things too, which I didn't get the money for. I don't know if I will, but if I decide to play GTA on PC again, then I probably will. I'll probably try to get more money so I can buy these, just to have them. But I don't know.
same spot. Doing any of the money laundering missions for any of these businesses should take you about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on which mission you get, and that's going to pay you $35,000. You can probably do 5 or 6 to 10 of these per hour, which, depending on the skill level of the player and the vehicles that you have access to, could get you anywhere between about $200,000 an hour to maybe even $400,000 an hour max, which is okay. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not fantastic. But what helps put these businesses up the list a little bit is the safe in your car wash. If you own a bunch of other businesses in the game, you can make over $30,000 every 48 minutes passively with this safe, which really does add a lot of value and a lot of money making potential if you play the game a lot. You also add in the fact that the car wash gives your cash factory a boost, Higgins Heli Tours gives your hangar a boost, and Smoke on the Water gives your weed farm a boost, then yeah, this is a pretty decent set of properties here. I can't quite put them in that top tier of business though, so that's why they've sort of fell around the middle of the list. We're moving into some really good properties now. Next up on the list is the Auto Shop. There are 3 different ways to make money with the Auto Shop. Let's go through them on worst to best. So the worst way to make money with the Auto Shop is through the exotic exports list. Each day when you're driving around the map, a blue dot will pop up every once in a while with the location of an exotic exports car that you can steal and deliver to the docks for $20,000. That's not bad. They can be pretty fun to do every once in a while, but that's not really serious money. The next
Isn't that like the same thing Simeon gets you to do, where he like sends you a text with cars and you have to find them, like respray them or repair them, then bring them? What's the difference between this and that?
Make money with the Auto Shop is through the Auto Shop business.
I guess the cars are more different.
Cars and delivering them back to them. You can either drive the car back to the customer yourself, or you can pay your staff in the workshop to do it for you. You're not going to quite make as much money per sale if you do it that way, but it also means you're not going to have to waste time driving all the way across the map. If you come back to your auto shop once an hour and modify and get your staff to deliver the vehicles to the customers, pretty confident in saying you can make at least $50,000 an hour just doing that. And the final and most effective way to make money with the auto shop is through the contracts. Completing any of the contracts in the auto shop will get you about $170,000 on average. These contracts shouldn't even take half an hour to complete though for the average player. So already there, you're making over $300,000 an hour. But there's also one contract in the auto shop that pays you out $300,000 per contract. That's the Union Depository contract. The funny thing is, you can just continue resetting your contract until you get the one you want. So if you do the Union Depository twice an hour, you can comfortably make over $600,000 an hour with the auto shop. That well and truly cements it in the next tier of businesses, and it only gets even better from here. Next, we've got the Salvage Yard, which was added at the end of 2023. And I think most players should be able to make over $400,000, maybe even above $500,000 an hour with this business. There's a couple ways you can make money with the Salvage Yard. The main one is through vehicle robberies. Each week you can steal vehicles in what is basically a heist. Not quite as long as a heist, but it's close. You'll have a scope out mission, a few setup missions, some free mode missions, and then a finale. The payout of these depends on the vehicle you're stealing. Some of them are in the mid 200,000s, and others can be around 400,000. Most players can definitely get this done in under 1 hour with a bit of practice, not to mention the fact that you can actually buy the vehicles you steal instead of selling them. You can buy them for a discounted price, but sadly Rockstar only lets us do this once every month or two, but still you can get a free car pretty much every couple of months. And then if you own a document forgery office, you can buy the vehicle for even cheaper again. So this business can not only be a good way to make money, but also a good way to save money on some vehicles you want. Then you add in the tow truck missions where you go out, steal vehicles, bring them back to your salvage yard where your staff can salvage them for money. You can have 2 vehicles salvaging at once, which means if you make about $50,000 per salvaged vehicle, you're looking at an extra $100,000 every in-game day, which is 48 minutes. But that's not all. You also add in the fact that there is a safe in your office in the salvage yard that can make you a bit of extra money as well. Yeah, the salvage yard's not bad at all. Next on the list is the arcade. This one lets you start
Yeah,
with
what I
Diamond
actually
Casino
have.
Heist, which can make you some pretty serious money if you know what
Well,
you're doing.
we don't talk
If
about
you're
the fact
running
that I
Diamond
told you
Casino
guys I have
Heist
the
as a
bunker.
duo, you
Right.
can comfortably take over $2 million per heist.
Another
Even
one
if
I
you're
have.
Splitting that 50-50 with your partner, you're making at least $1 million a heist, and most players should be able to complete the Diamond Casino Heist in under 90 minutes if you know what you're doing. Honestly, 90 minutes is pretty generous. A lot of players can do it even faster than that. So yeah, if you've got a buddy and you want to grind a business, this is a pretty good one to do. On top of that, the arcade also has the master control terminal inside where you can operate all of your other businesses from the one spot. So that's a really nice feature that, if you think about it, is actually going to make you more money because you don't have to fly out to all of your other businesses and operate them from there. So yeah, the arcade, really, really good business. Definitely still in the top tier. At number 4 on the list is the second best passive business in the game. It's the Acid Lab. This business can make you over $60,000 an hour completely passively, which actually puts it at similar numbers to things like the bunker and the coke lockup. But the thing that puts this business over the edge is the fact that all of the sale missions for this business are directed towards solo players. So where for the bunker and coke lockup, for example, you might have 3 sale vehicles that can take you 20 minutes to complete a sale, the Acid Lab is only ever going to spawn you 1 sale vehicle, which means you can complete the sale mission in about 5 minutes. All up, this is a very simple and profitable business to run. Rockstar looked at all of the feedback from businesses like the nightclub, MC businesses, and bunker, and made a business that is really good.
Oh, that's another one I have. I have the MC
is as close to a must-own
Club.
business as you can get.
I have that
and considering is very cheap to get as well, this is one that almost all players should own. In this spot, I'm gonna put the hangar. The hangar has been heavily updated, and the pay has been massively increased. This happened in the middle of 2023. Now, of course, watch my full guide for the hangar in the link in the description below if you want to know how to do this, but experienced players should actually be able to make somewhere around $700,000 an hour with this.
Wow.
If you don't know how the hangar works, you basically source vehicles through the computer inside your hangar, go out, steal the crates, bring them back, and then sell them later on for more money. But what makes these so good now is Rockstar in the middle of 2023 added land missions. Previously, you could only do air missions. So now you can do both source and sell missions via land, which are actually twice as fast, maybe even faster than that when compared to the air missions. Using the hangar now is easier and faster than ever, which means you're gonna get more money. But that's not all with the hangar. Of course, it's very useful because, well, it's a hangar and you need somewhere to store your aircraft, so this is the place. Overall, the hangar is definitely an awesome business, definitely a top 5 business in the game, and it belongs right here on the list. At number 3, and moving up 1 spot from last year, is the Agency.
Another one I
That's
have.
because the Agency actually got a massive buff with the Money Fronts DLC in 2025, and that's purely because you can now skip cutscenes, which if you've played the Dr. Dre contract, you'll know this is going to save you a lot of time doing this contract. So how does the Agency work? Well, the main way to make money with it is, of course, the Dr. Dre contract that will give you $1 million, and previously this took over an hour and a half to complete. But now that you can skip cutscenes, most players should be able to complete this in around an hour or just over an hour, which means you can get that $1 million a lot quicker. In the Agency, you've also got security contracts, which pay about $30,000 to $80,000, and they'll take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. We also have the Agency Safe, which can earn you up to $20,000 every 48 minutes, but it does take a while to get the safe to that point. You do need to do 200 security contracts to max out the earning potential with the safe. And then finally, we have payphone hits, which have been changed a bunch since they came out, but now in 2025, they pay you $45,000 per hit, and they really only take a few minutes. So the Agency has a bunch of great ways to make money. It got a massive buff with the skippable cutscenes now, and I think it's definitely earned its spot at number 2 on the list. The second best property or business to own in all of GTA Online
Another
is
nightclub. So I have the
insane
nightclub,
how good
bunker,
this is now.
Agency.
We spoke about passive businesses a lot. And like I said before, the second best passive business in the game is the Acid Lab, which is going to make you about $60,000 an hour. The nightclub blows that out of the water. The first passive way to make money with the nightclub is through the safe that's in your office. If you can keep your nightclub popularity full, which shouldn't be too hard for anyone, really, that safe alone is going to pay you $50,000 every in-game day, which is 48 minutes real time. So that on its own is making you about $60,000 an hour, which already matches the Acid Lab. And that's not even mentioning the nightclub warehouse, which is another incredible way to make money with the nightclub. At its maximum output, meaning you have the 5 technicians working on the best possible businesses in your nightclub warehouse, the warehouse is also going to make you somewhere around that $50,000 to $60,000 an hour range as well. So yes, all up, almost completely passively, the nightclub is going to make you $100,000 an hour. Genuinely insane and absolutely a must-own business, whether you're a brand new player or you're a player who has 10,000 hours. Then at number 1 is the Kasatka Submarine. Yes, I know the Cayo Perico heist keeps getting nerfed. It's been nerfed almost into the ground, but what's crazy is it's still the best way to make money in the game. Yes, Rockstar did put a massive cooldown on the heist. If you're doing it solo, you have to wait almost 3 hours to do the heist again. They also massively decreased the amount of money you're going to make, which means now as a solo player, you're not going to be making $1.5 million per heist anymore.
Wait, I didn't even know that was possible to do it solo. Wow.
1 million, but still, to make about $1 million in only 1 hour of work is something that you can't do anywhere else in the game. And for that reason, the Kasatka is still number 1. You probably noticed that I didn't mention the CEO office or the MC Clubhouse. And the reason for that is while these are kind of businesses, they don't really stand on their own. You kind of just need them to buy other businesses. So for that reason, I don't really think I could correctly rank them. So we'll wrap the video up there. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more stuff like this. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Damn, nice jump. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of this video. Bye, guys.